Whew. Good morning, everybody. It's your man Rico. Sunday morning, what, the 26th? No, it's 27th, I think. Yeah, April 2025. What's good? I like these mornings when they're nice and brisk and crisp. Y'all go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Get on over to my YouTube channel, please. And subscribe. We're getting on up there. It's gonna become a podcast. Let me get up to, I need about 1,500, maybe 2,000 subscribers so we can make this happen. 4,000 listening and or watch hours. Let's go. I have like 2,300 watch hours right now. So let's build this community of opinions together. I'm not gonna make this a long video. Hold on. I got my water with me, so I'm shifting. But I want to say this really quickly. Congratulations to Shedeur Sanders. Congratulations to Shiloh. Congratulations to Coach Prime. And I guess special shout out to Travis Hunter. Called Prime Effect. I should have hashtagged that Prime Effect. Shedeur was picked 144th. That seemed to be the hashtag going around. I think they're saying it like they're trying to embarrass him or something. Wow, he came all the way down to the fifth round pick or something, 144, fifth round, 144 pick. I guess that's, but they splashed that all over the place like they're supposed to shame him. You can't shame somebody who's been properly raised and groomed to have confidence in him or herself. You can't shame him. So if y'all think y'all doing that, national media and social media, you might well just stop it. And and the unexpected surprise, even to himself, shout out to Shiloh. But first of all, Shedeur was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. And it's probably a good place. And you know what? It's probably a good place for him to be. But his high level of talent to go and really bring the spotlight to the Cleveland Browns. And I think for whatever reason they made a good choice by selecting him. And so people are already saying, when is the jersey coming out? So everything they thought it was meant for bad has turned out to be pretty good for someone who's been falsely accused of these heinous crimes, arrogance, cockiness. And shout out to Shiloh, who's signed on as an unlisted free agent with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go ahead, Shiloh. And he said, look, all I needed was an opportunity. And yeah, there's a whole lot of arrogance and cockiness in that, right? And then see how these labels, they seem to just flow with every other group of men. But when it comes to black men, it's like it's something that was burned into their skin, something negative, arrogance and cocky. Only when it comes to black boys. And only when your arrogance and cockiness is there to serve others, but not serve yourself or your community. Y'all didn't hear what I just said this Sunday morning. And I think they're both going to do well in their respective organizations. I'm pushing for them just like those other young men who've all been drafted by their teams and stuff. And I'm not getting into all of the, what I think is just a bunch of, for me, because I'm not a sports person, but a bunch of nonsense. Well, this guy over here was picked over him, and how they draft this guy over him. No, don't get into that. Y'all pay attention to what's right in front of you, and that's all you need to know. But if you pretending not to see the forest for the trees, it's on you. So Neely Fuller always said, racism, white supremacy, if you don't know what it is or its agenda, everything you see would only confuse you. So I'm not confused. But this thing, what people saying, before yesterday happened, I guess early or late yesterday happened with them being both chosen. People say, well, the reason he didn't get picked because he's arrogant and cocky and he's flashy. And then, again, y'all know I don't care what other people think about us. But so many of our people raise our children to give a damn about what the dominant culture thinks. But whenever they say don't act like that, they celebrate that in their kids and their people. Don't be arrogant and cocky, confident. And I want to say this to you black folks that's echoing what they said about Shadur. Yeah, mainly him. He needs to humble himself. He needs to be humble. You know, all that kind of nonsense. But aren't we the main ones when we talk about Rosa Parks? We say stuff like, Rosa Parks sat down so we could stand up. Or somebody did this so somebody could run. So that means, I don't understand that. Deion Sanders did what he did so Shadur and Shiloh can do what they're doing. And I look back, when I look at the history of how African Americans have had to make it here in this country and even across the world, but foundation of black Americans, you know, we look back and see that, you know, we look at the movies and we look at how black folks were only relegated to play domestics in TV shows, and we had to almost like bow our heads and yassa massa, oh show is sir, and they do all of that. And when we read the history of it, we say those folks did what they had to do so their children wouldn't have to do it. Y'all remember that? They picked the cotton, or they did the lower jobs, they did all those things. The sacrifice would have, even one would look at it and say their humanity, so their children, this generation, will have to do it. The Jews they say they went through a whole lot of stuff and all of that, and Jewish kids today are proud and arrogant and cocky and self-assured, and people celebrate it, every group. But when it comes to black people, and I'm black men, I need y'all to listen, you know, because y'all were really heavy-handed in this conversation about Shadur Sanders and his so-called arrogance and cockiness and trying to interpret what you think the white owners don't want to see in this young black man with I don't even think he has any tattoos. So, you know, there's a lot of, so I want to say to you black men out there, so did y'all actually, those of you who are over 50, over 60, whatever, or whatever, over 40, so did y'all actually bust your ass and scrape your hands and bow your head and scratch you when you weren't itching and do all of that so your sons can grow up and do exactly what you did? Or you did this so your sons will have to be made to feel that he has to shuck or jive? Y'all talk to me now, because this shit is confusing. It's confusing. So, Elgin, Bobby, what's up? Delnita, what's up, cuzzo? Good morning. What's that smoothie? So, y'all talk to me now. Y'all said that y'all know, like when black folks go into corporate America back in the day, they had to, you know, tighten up their speech and clench their booty cheeks and yes sir, of course. Yes, of course, Richard. Yes. So y'all are saying y'all did all this so y'all sons and daughters can act like a bunch of repressed human beings when they're around other folks? Or in general, I thought y'all keep saying we're not our ancestors. Okay. And whenever I heard that, I said, y'all sound stupid when you say that, because y'all can never endure what the ancestors went through, so you don't have to be the baboon that a lot of y'all act today. We're not our ancestors. You damn right you aren't. What have you fucking created out of your brains that moved our people forward? So I just want to say that to those nitwits that say, we're not our ancestors. I understand, you know, when it comes to Karens and Kens talking crazy to us in the public and all of that, I get that. But we're also not our ancestors in so many other ways, and it's very unfortunate and detrimental to us that we're not our ancestors with the intuitiveness and ingenuity. You know, like, and let me say something, you know, let me go even further, because I'm not done yet. These so-called independent sisters with the degrees and what else? He can cook his own food. I ain't doing this. But then you spit but you want to worship Big Mama. But Big Mama cooked Big Daddy's or Pawpaw's food. She ironed his clothes. He did all of that. So what y'all? So y'all can be here to be the arrogant, cocky, confident women that y'all are here today. So I don't understand this. Y'all think Big Mama and Pawpaw work the way they work? So y'all can I guess be considered or live in what's called second and third class citizenship as women. So y'all gotta help me now. But when I heard us participate in this, well, he too arrogant, he too cocky. There's something wrong with the American Negro. I've always said it's black people in America get dumber by the summer. And most importantly, I always say that we stopped reading books in 1997. I'll go say 98, 99. You know, we stopped reading African-American books, our history. That's why we sound so stupid. We say the dumbest things. But one thing about the dominant culture, they've always remained consistent. Make sure the Negro don't get anything. We got to criticize him, especially his male children. We want to break them down and break them if we can at every turn. Unless when he's using his brain, his physical ability and agility for our progress. But we start reading. That's why I always bring up our scholars. Because the one thing about the scholars, they may be gone physically, but their information is still very relevant today. I always mention Dr. Claude Anderson. He's still here with us. We act like he's not even pushing towards 90. Still trying to tell Negroes about economic empowerment, or as a conscious community like to say, Kujigagulia, cooperative economics, and ownership. And by the way, go check out this video, Inappropriate Behavior. And it goes back to whenever I get on this app, I talk to black people about inappropriate behavior. Go and watch that video. Because our behavior is so inappropriate under racism and white supremacy. It's almost like child's play. And Neely Fuller telling us about. He wrote the book. He even has videos. Which anyway, we're going to have to do better. You know, whether we like the philosophy of his father, you agree with everything, but still, those are black men who've done the right things. If I'm not going to penalize Shedeur Sanders for wearing a rapper chain. And that's what he did. I'm not going to penalize him for carving out his own niche when he would wave his watch that he earned. Well, hell, even if his daddy bought him, his daddy made sure that he built the foundation so his children have to struggle. What is it about this idea that black kids need to struggle all the goddamn time? And the reason a lot of black children are struggling because their parents didn't do what the fuck they were supposed to do. It makes no sense. All these black boys and these little black girls got to struggle through stuff, and next thing you know, they come across some white benefactors to help them with cheerleading fees and help them to get on school trips and all that. That shit is tired. And so your child growing up with that white savior mentality, because you do what you're supposed to do to make sure that as you were building, there was a bridge already prepared for your child to cross over when they became an adult. Come on, somebody, hallelujah. Your preacher ain't gonna tell you this morning. And that's where a lot of black parents fail at. You don't build so your children don't have to lift such a heavy burden as they're growing up. Other communities believe in having a future for their children. And so Deion Sanders is like many fathers, a lot of black fathers who made sure that they boys didn't have to beg and scrape and become some kind of beneficiary for nobody. And that's where it's supposed to be. That's where that confidence comes from. Something that their father built, a bridge and a building that their father built for them. But due to the fact that in our community we've been convinced that fathers don't matter, well, you see the examples of how him and many others other than Coach Prime. But he's the one that's in the news, so I'm using him as the example. Fathers are very important. They create the foundation. They create the confidence in your children, particularly your sons, so they can grow up to be real productive citizens. And not half-ass lapdogs for just any woman out here. becoming just a simp out here. And I think that is the problem with a lot of folks. Those two young men, Shadur and Shiloh, are unapologetically black. They're unapologetically masculine. They're unapologetically men. The way white men and other men raise their sons to be unapologetically masculine, unapologetically white and male. So this don't make no damn sense. What is this? What say, Miss Bobby? God bless morning, young man. I'm leaving now. Truth be told, tell Darrington hello. Keep being you. Okay, Miss Bobby. I'll tell my auntie. Say hello. And you enjoy your day, Miss Bobby. So it doesn't make any sense that we seem confused. We can recognize masculine confidence in any other race of boys, but when we see it in black males, it's like that plantation thing. And by the way, before I go there, let me let you know the book that can help you with this, to help break it down more. It's called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy LeGrew Leary, Leary. Dr. Joy Leary. And whenever we see that confidence in that man in black boys, it's like we get nervous. Like, who do you think he is? It's like that old plantation thing. That's why I keep pushing the Willie Lynch letter. If you don't have a copy of the Willie Lynch letter, get at me. It's only $5. Hit me on the Cash App, $5, $ RicoRiversMSW. Please leave an email in the message box, okay? So I can get it to you. See, when we start reading again, they will understand racism, white supremacy. You understand this agenda. You understand this purpose. And so it will become less of a situation where whatever you see won't confuse you anymore. Because we look in all other directions instead of our own directions. We actually have a history that we can be proud of, that we can read. And so, but they do the same thing over and over. They never change their script. But we stop reading. We stop investigating our own history. We start researching our own humanity. We stop doing that. That's why we around here look so stupid all the time. I just shake my head and please, y'all. I don't know every goddamn thing. I don't, but I do know something. And I think all of us don't know every goddamn thing, but goddamn it, we know something. And so whatever, there's something that we know, tell it, share it, write about it, blog about it, and share books, share YouTube channels. Share it, because other than, the foolishness, other than fight videos and podcasts where they having this back and forth gender war foolishness, share some stuff that actually builds the brain so we can start functioning a little better in this country. You understand? So shout out to Shadur. Let me say this one more. Let me say this. I don't want to, because I think I left some points out in my other video. Why is it? It never been curious to y'all to wonder why every time before we are vetted, in our vetting to be accepted into a system of a dominant culture owned or white system, they have to vet us. They vet us to see what's on our mind and how we present. And it reminds me of American Idol. They love those black NBA players, those black NFL players who come from, and they say humble beginnings, or meaning their ass came out of a broken home, just a mom and a bunch of kids, broke ass, living in the projects, poor on food stamps. They love to be able to tell that story. Y'all ain't never heard, y'all never noticed that sick ass fetish that they have with our poverty? Shit that systematically is created by them. And they look at it like, damn, we've done all of this. Their ancestral genetic ability still got them through all the nonsense that we purposely put on them every day systematically. And this big, strong brother, this athletic, this gymnastically talented sister, still able to flip her way into our goddamn office. He's still able to run, jump, and dunk his way into our goddamn offices, our combines, and draft days. See, it's like a sick fetish that every time you in NBA, NFL, because y'all don't send black boys to baseball anymore, or tennis, or soccer, pickleball, hell, none, just baseball and basketball and football. So, but y'all have never noticed that they have a sick ass fetish about our poverty. Damn, how they make it through that? We made sure systematically that race of people, that group of people is denied everything on purpose. And we'll put it in their face when we pick somebody else. But you know who they're in love with? Travis Hunter. And this is no shade or no discount or minimizing Travis Hunter. That young man is athletically gifted. He has a poor choice in dating, but that's a whole nother psychological evaluation that has to be done there. But I saw what he was wearing. That young man looked like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. But they thought that was okay. Now, Dion wore something like that back in the day, and they got on Dion's ass. Dion wore flashy clothes and all that, and they still bring up that how Dion used to be flashy and all that he did. And then but when they see Travis Hunter, I guess they see extreme gratitude, meaning he like, ooh, they know his background. They know he comes from a very broken home, father in jail, and all that. When he got that hat, he was grinning like, man, you talking about like, all he had to say was dynamite, and that's what feeds their false sense of benevolence. I'm telling y'all, Elijah Muhammad told that white man's the devil. He told us that about 80 years ago. And Negroes still don't believe it and don't understand what he meant. I'm not saying get up next morning, roll your eyes at people who are not black. I'm just saying understand what they understand. They say, yeah, we can get along with everybody, but it's about our culture and it's about getting that money. Negroes be around here worrying about who fucking likes them. And so, when I saw Travis Hunter, I said, look at him. He is that the American Idol Negro. And I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying that's how they like for black boys to come, dragging, crawling on their knees. American Idol. They do it to all their contestants. That's why I don't watch American Idol. I just watch the performances when they finally get through all the nonsense. Let's hear your sad story. And they love to hear, well, my father wasn't there. My mom died of cancer. I came out from abstract poverty. I was living in my car before I came here. And that's how I made it. And so Lionel Richie, you get a hug from Lionel Richie, and the white girl is able to shed a tear through her Botox, and Luke Bryan to give you that country smile like, oh my God, I felt so bad for you. And Luke Bryan's a cool dude. I'm not dissing anybody. I'm just telling you the reactions. Just check them out. We all want a hug from Lionel Richie. If I ever meet Lionel Richie, like, man, can I get one of them hugs, the American Idol hugs from you, bro? Lionel Richie is OG. Straight out of, what's that? Out of Alabama, he went to Tuskegee. And then the Commodores. So Lionel Richie is the embodiment of soul, the South and the soul. With his, well, she was 35 when we first heard about her. But with his younger woman, with her cute self. Shout out to Lionel Richie's younger woman. But anyway, that's how they like for them to come. See, Shadur and Shiloh didn't come from poverty. They didn't come in on their knees. And that's, y'all don't understand. That's why they all work together. All those coaches, their whole system, their racist NFL system, all work together. We're going to humble this N-word. We're going to humble this N-word. Not because he's arrogant and cocky, like, damn, he didn't come on his knees. He didn't come in, oh, thank you, master. Thank y'all so much for picking. Y'all's picking us. Thank you. But when they were picked, they said, I would like to express my gratitude and thank you. You know, just like anybody who was raised right and got good sense. But the Travis Hunter is what they really were going to invest in. Because he came from what they enjoyed seeing black boys come from. Like The Blind Side. And then white folks took the credit. He had to grow up and say, hey, all that didn't really happen. But they love to take the credit, say they built some Negro out of abstract poverty. Y'all pick up these signs, understand. So when y'all hear us, y'all accuse us of talking this black stuff, well, it's for your benefit as well, not just ours. Damn, I'm finna walk this water. Man, okay, here it goes. Ooh, hold on, y'all. They got the sprinklers on over here. Okay, I made it through. All right, so, you know, a lot of folks did a lot of quote-unquote black stuff so you can be as competent and cocky and arrogant in your existence today. So that's what they like to see, y'all. All right, I'm not gonna belabor this. I just want to share that. Why is it they like to see young black athletes coming out the projects and ducking gunfire and avoiding gangs and even to avoid drugs? Those are the ones they like to push. But they don't like to push those. And then if they do, let's say this, they do push the little black boys to come up. They're really not black boys. A lot of them are biracial. They come out the suburbs. Yeah, I ain't picked up on that either, huh? I know, it's like Rico Bun, you just got a lot of time on your hands. Well, there's always time to think. You ever heard of that? People say that to you like it's an insult. Well, you sure got a lot of time on your hands. No, I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do in my life and everything else. But one thing I don't have to compartmentalize, that is think and pay attention to what's going on. But anyway, this beautiful Sunday morning, I just wanted to say that again. Congratulations to the Sanders family. And good morning. How y'all doing? And we as black men and as the black community, we need to get on code a little better. All right, y'all enjoy your day. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want a copy of either one of those, even a copy of my black book list, I told y'all what to do. If not, go back in the video and find out how I told you can get those things from me. Y'all enjoy your day. Peace.